safe in your arms. No harm will come to you.
Y donde se cuarció porque yo las vigas mías estaban en la...
Yeah, 3.5 billion people, but how many people are working? What percentage of the economy is people have employment?
Well, the part that I know that is about 43% working people.
So it's gone down since the hurricane?
Yeah.
What was it before the hurricane?
Well, always it's just like a working people, about 43,000 people. Then the other people probably they working by themselves or something like that. But the working steady with the government is about 43%.
But how many people have lost? What percentage of people are out of work because of the hurricane?
Well, right now it's the statistics almost stay the same. The only thing that a lot of people they went to the States.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How many people went to the States, do you know?
About 425,000.
425,000?
In the last couple of years.
Really? But since the hurricane, how many people have left?
Well, maybe from the hurricane about 200,000. We have a problem right now with the school. And we have a problem and unemployment because they don't come up with a big industry to give them a job to the people. We have a tour, the tour gets stuck for a while because most of the hotel is on repair. Right now we may have a tour and a cruise ship, but not in a hotel.
But not as much as before, obviously. But it is picking up.
Yeah, it's gonna pick them up maybe by the November, December.
That's what they say, yeah. I hope. I don't know. Keep going ahead. Hey, are you all with? Hey, how are you? Yeah. I'll hop right out.
Okay, so this place calls La Rogativa. La Rogativa means the prayer. It had this cult called the most noble and the most loyal. So the story behind, there's a legend and there's the real story, right? So the legend has it that in the 1797, once again, the British tried to invade the island. In this time, there were 8,000 troops against only 1,500 military Spanish soldiers. So when they came, the British came with the 8,000 troops, the Spanish soldiers were demoralized. They thought they're gonna lose the island, right? The islet. So what happened, the bishop with all the women during the night marched with lit torch praying for the liberation of the city. And the legend says that the British saw so many lit torch that they decided to retire, conceding this victory to the women. The true story is that 8,000 troops the British with 8,000 troops come all over to Puerto Rico trying to invade it to take the island. But the strategy they used, it was different. They do not enter through San Juan. They enter through Piñones. Piñones is like around 30 minutes from here. And why the British decide to enter through that place is because in Piñones was a slave area. So they thought if we entrance to the slave area, these slaves are gonna join us and we are going to fight together with the Spanish. But when the British came, what happened is that the slave fight back. So there were 2 weeks fighting before the British arrived to the island. And when they arrived to the island, it was enough time to the governor of Puerto Rico, who was Spanish, to make a good strategy. So when they came, the British came, they were waiting for them in the entrance of the islet of Old San Juan. And also the governor asked for the help of all the local peoples, including the women, and that's the role of the women. The women were crossing one side to the other side with small boats, but with lit torch, so they confused the British. So that's how, when the British came after fighting 2 weeks with the slave, they saw a huge army waiting for them and a lot of people crossing with lit torch, and that's how they decide to retire. And we considered victory not only to the Spanish, but to the people that for the first time fight for their territory. So that's the story behind. Now we can walk. Let's go.
Su organización se llama Relief Foundation. Ellos están aquí hoy, están compartiendo con nosotros, están disfrutando de Miramar Food Truck Park, y su líder, Pedro.
How many people have been to Puerto Rico before this trip? Okay, how many people have never been to Puerto Rico? This is your first time. So you got some new people here, right? So basically, the Relief Foundation stands for relieving and embracing lives interrupted by Earth's forces relief. You've heard of flash mobs. We do flash relief. We use social media and technology, kind of organize and come together. This is, I think it's like one of our 8th or 9th trip. It started out in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina. We built an orphanage in Port-au-Prince after the earthquake there. Did some Japanese tsunami cleanup after that happened. Georgia tornado cleanup, etc., all the way through to Houston this past year. Now we're here.
The communities where we are going, there have been months without proper medical care, so we were able to put together a technical team, and we have on the ground as well as over telemedicine to deliver that care that is much needed. So I really want to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to bring technology as well as human effort and relief to be able to help. Thank you so much.
Where are we going?
You know what they say, you always want the perfect bathroom use? I'm going to check that one off my book.
Margaret.
I'm going to use the...
Jody's got a bad rap in the military. Jody's a bad man.
Once I learned that, I'd meet people in the military. Hey, I'm Joe. How you doing?
Name's Joe. You're that dude.
Hey, no,
Yo.
Up this side. Yeah.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start living. There's a choice to make it. We're saving our own lives.
¿Es solamente tu trabajo? Sí. ¿Tu idea para eso? Las rocas son de aquí.
De la playa.
¿De la playa? Buenísimo. Muy bien. ¿Y qué piensas de este hombre? Un oso.
She was in Rochester medical
Is
school.
couples match a thing?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
but like, I guess it doesn't always work, and like, it supposedly often doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was.
I hear you. Some actions.
Oh, yeah.
Scenes here.
You guys gonna get some good footage at least?
Yeah.
You don't mind? Thank you.
She's been married for 50 years.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
We were like, if we got to like 100 something like this.
I was like, is she 108? That's possible. Can I use this thing?
Yeah, I just chipped away everything up here.
Yeah, I can pull it off?
Yep.
It's been a dream of mine.
Problema en su casa, agua.
Sí.
Moves.
Make it move, make it happen.
The ladies had it this morning.
It's really Margaret. You want avocado salad and you just keep putting more.
Sure.
I don't need it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'll just keep spreading. Absolutely.
Ready.
That's great.
Cool. What else is
The books, students' files, desks, everything just left. It's like you got 30 seconds to leave the building, we're closing it. Take only what you can carry. And this is about, I'd say, let's see, we started working here when I first got here in mid-November, so it's been about 6.5 months of work here in this school so far. Yeah, the interesting part about this is like how do you build a community when the government is completely like tied down by like an illegal $70 billion debt and like can't declare bankruptcy on this like a normal state. Like Detroit can declare bankruptcy. Yeah. Puerto Rico, on the other hand, cannot. The root cause of all this is the colonization of the island. And the United States government doesn't want Puerto Rico to be resilient. It doesn't want Puerto Rico to be able to take care of itself, because if somebody takes care of themselves, you can't occupy them. It's been a relationship of extraction since 1898.
Yeah,
like
really.
every bit of the United States involvement has been like, how much money can we suck out of this island? One avocado is about $5 with tax at the store, because the avocados are grown in Dominican Republic, about 100 miles from the west coast of here.
Yeah.
But because of the Jones Act and the colonial shipping laws, those avocados have to travel on a Dominican boat to the United States, change hands in the port, and get put on an American ship, and then shipped all the way back down here.
Oh, yeah.
Like even now, the governor's trying to, even though he said right after the storm that they like anybody that tries to hide any information regarding the hurricane will have hell to pay, and that same dude is now like doing everything in his power to hide the actual death toll of the hurricane, which is about almost 5,000.
I know, it may be higher.
Oh, it's definitely higher.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, like 5,000 deaths in 9 months and in 3,500 square miles. That's a lot of grief, and that's a lot of emotion to process. And like, because by the law of numbers, 5,000 people and this small of a space, that's somebody's aunt, that's somebody's grandma, that's somebody's cousin or uncle. Like they don't want this to be humanized.
Yeah.
Like they just want to build more resorts, make more fast food jobs out here.
Wow.
They just shipped us the box.
Wow. So that's the company, huh?
Yeah, it's a small company out of Northern California. The fourth one that they've ever installed. The first one in Puerto Rico.
Really? Look at that.
So yeah, the panels come in in 4 quadrants. There's 4 charge controllers that control the voltage and everything, and it goes down to this bank of 24 2-volt batteries, and the batteries come up into these 3 inverters. And then from the inverters out through the system and to the rest of the school.
Wow.
Then the diesel generator back here kicks on automatically if there's too much power getting drawn or if there's not enough.
Really?
The panels aren't connected. These are 2 volts.
Oh, the facility need 2 volts?
Yeah, but they're giant. They're like way weigh a lot. You can't pick these up. They go all the way down to the floor.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's a low voltage, high current.
Wow. Beautiful. A work of art, really. Beautiful.
I think these are each like 365 watts.
Each panel is 365 watts?
345 watts. I'm sorry.
Each panel?
Yeah, each panel is 345 watts, and we have 48. Yeah, then with the panel store on top of these here, so there's still plenty of walk space to access the brain and all the parts and fuses and the generator.
Right. So you put this before we came down. You put this together.
Yeah.
Beautiful job. Unbelievable. Congratulations. There's hope.
Sammy, smile. We're here live on location on top of, what's her name? Diana's rooftop. Come on, we're filming here. You gotta give me some. There's Jody making moves.
Jody's laying down the sealant for the roof.
Here, I hold it and you can do both hands.
All right, sorry.
And we'll maximize.
Spot.
Can you get a little more water?
This blackness.
Going full Shakespeare.
Oh! I got you.
I'm okay with that too. Like, I'm not upset.
You like it feels good?
Yeah.
You guys are riding the big van.
Baby greens right here, and we're planting 4 different types of onions to see which ones grow best.
Oh, really?
And then
all the same kind of vegetable?
so this is like a mix of different lettuce, and then over there's 4 types of onions, and then around the corner we have a bunch of different mixed peppers that we're growing.
Great. Nothing like seeing organic soil. You know, soil that's brown.
All the way around. Kitchen over there. It's been there
Oh,
for
it
a
does?
long time.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just going to show you your hands.
Well,
A little bit. Yeah.
61 stairs from here to there.
Nothing like putting hands in dirt. Huh?
That's right.
Hey.
If you want me to cover
So essentially the idea of the garden here is to stimulate the mental health of the elderly people in this community. So I was going around when I came here, someone brought me to this community and they took me to this old lady's house who had water dripping onto her bed every single night. They're like, how can you help there? So we went there and she pretty much, the only contact she has with any other human is once a week when a social worker comes for 30 minutes. The rest of the week she's without power, just living alone.
Still.
And they said they need someone to kind of help her get her life together, get it started. Still actually, well, not anymore because we just fixed it.
Oh.
We literally just came back from that work site. We spent all morning sealing the roof. So she's good now, no more water on her bed for at least a few years. And so I was there and I said, if we help her, if we fix this, then what? We leave, the house just goes back to the way it was. How do we do something to make this sustainable? And so they took me all around the community. I met about 20 different just elderly people living alone without power. Same situation. Only once a week the social work students go around on Sunday and talk to them for 30 minutes. So I said, what do we do? How do we fix this? So this used to be a school before a hurricane came, got destroyed. They gave the rights to the University of Puerto Rico, Humacao, and I said, can we use this as a community center for the elderly people? Set up workshops, games, there's tons of instruments in there, we're setting up a music center, and once a week, instead of them going house to house and going individually, they're gonna bring them all here at once, pull them out one at a time, but they're gonna be able to talk to each other and have a community of each, and it's just what that does for especially elderly people, their mental health, and makes it important. And I mean, garden is responsibility, you know? Planting it, keeping it, tilling it, making sure what you're doing is growing. Having responsibility does so much for the mental health of people, and that's the whole idea here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, mental health is foundation of everything, really.
Yes.
More than physical.
Of course.
But you know, you're going to get your MD soon, and you know, that's really great that medical people are here with regular volunteers. And I can't say enough about it that there are a lot of great people in the medical field who do this. And
I think the reason anyone becomes a doctor at their heart, even if they don't believe it anymore or care to admit it, is they want to do good. That's the whole reason. And I think a lot of times you forget that after the years of studying and the textbooks and the competition in this school and this residency. And I think for me, I'm really trying hard to combat that, is running these trips all the time, always refocusing, realigning. What's your purpose here? What are you here? As much good as you can with the time you have.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do as much as we can.
The heart leads the way.
Always.
And the mind.
Always. Yeah. And it's all about sustainability. That's everything. It's not
that's
just,
the secret.
We only have one day here, but how do we make it so years later this is still benefiting people?
Yes.
This, we've actually gotten a contract from the students from the University of Puerto Rico Social Work School that once a week, Sunday, part of their curriculum is they have to do this. Gather everyone, bring them here, do social services.
Is that after the hurricane that started?
No, this actually started when I came a month ago.
Oh, they started that
because we came here.
Bless you.
I
That's
said to them,
great.
I said, if we do this and we come, we set it up, we need to make sure this is happening and running.
Yeah.
They wrote me a contract.
Yeah.
It's in the curriculum. The students now have to do it. And
I'd love to see the contract.
Exactly.
I'll shoot
yes,
it. I'll
I
take a
can.
picture.
Yeah, I can show you
We'll
everything.
be in touch.
Yeah.
You're in Philly, right?
I live in Philly. Yeah.
Great. We'll be in touch.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm off for the summer, but I'll be back in September.
Perfect. Yeah.
We'll be in touch a lot.
So that's the whole idea here.
You're Peter, right?
Your name?
I'm Zach.
You're Zach. Okay.
Yeah. Nice
Peter.
to meet you.
Peter Jacobson. Zach.
Zach Fink.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're friends on Messenger. One of those things.
Well, so I'm on. So finding this product. I scoured the island the last 6 months. I've been to communities in every corner, and we saw a lot of good projects. But it was, where is the need greatest? Not just who needs help. It's where is the need greatest, and how can we help the best? I went all over to Isabella, to all corners of the island, and coming here. I don't know if you know. Yokoboa is just down south from here, and that is where the hurricane actually hit. It came in from there. So this area got hit so hard. They're still without power. This long in America. As America's been a year. We went this morning and did food distribution to families around the area. In America, that long after a hurricane, that people still can't afford or have access to food. We dropped off cans of soup and things that are ready to be made, but we shouldn't have to be here.
Yeah.
This is insane. This isn't. It hurts, but we shouldn't have to be here. But we're happy.
Well, you know what? It inspires others.
I hope so.
We
I
need
hope so.
disasters in this world.
Yes.
In order to come to
Definitely inspires others.
What's that?
We're planting seeds here.
Yeah.
Quite literally. Yeah.
I know. I just got it. That's great.
Yesterday we always talk about making concrete change, and yesterday we literally used concrete to make this garden sustainable during the next hurricane. Got washed away during the last one. We used metal beams, made a frame, made a whole entire structure that we can board up if there's another storm, and just all these things are blowing my mind. It's beyond my wildest expectations.
You're given through disaster an opportunity to move forward, and hopefully help people's lives. These old people, if we were in a hurricane, they'd probably be every week, as you pointed out before. And what we need, very much need, I'm thinking as an older person, watching how this goes. Yes, isolation is the most devastating of all for us older folk. If we're left alone to our own boredom and desperation.
I think something really cool I found is who you become is a lot of circumstance, whether you become a hero or a villain, and depending on your circumstance, that allows you to become that thing. And so many people I've met in this community, because of the hurricane, have I'm shocked they don't wear capes all the time when they're walking around. Such as this guy yesterday, Tito, he built from his own money a clinic for his community. He's building a garden. The people here came, said, that's a great idea. We'll give you our school. Just community leaders who are heroes here who just want to do good. And although a lot of bad came out from the hurricane, it allowed a lot of people to really step up and do some incredible things.
Well, we just filmed. Tell them about who we just filmed. That woman at the restaurant and how she was. They didn't have any help. She went out and cleaned up the streets.
Heroes. They're in there. They just need the opportunity to be heroes. That's everything.
I know. Well, you're great. I'm going to shut this off.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks.
Okay, I think we're recording here. This is gonna be a one-on-one with Jody Del Giorno.
I'm Jody Del Giorno, and we're live in Puerto Rico.
Let's get some little air in here, Jody.
We're down here with the Relief Foundation, and it's been a great trip. We just sealed an entire roof for a lady who is in her 80s, and her entire family left, and she didn't want to leave, so they left her behind. But she had her church and her community, and it was good to see. She was still happy. She's still happy in her home, even though it's been ravished, and her property has been pretty beaten up, but another good day.
job, and it's good for people to know what we went through. And we have food here, thanks the Lord. But there were some people that didn't have no food, and they came by here to eat.
You fed them. The restaurant fed them.
My son, and there was a lot of people with no water, no food, no house, no place to sleep. Waiting for the help, and it took a long time, the help to come. It took a long time. You're gonna see all that, you're gonna see all the blue ceilings in the island still. You're gonna see people living in their houses without no roof, water dripping, especially old people. They don't have the strength to rebuild again. They don't have the money to rebuild again. So
their lives are just gone, away from them, washed away in a way.
They lost everything they worked for. The whole life, they lost it.
Yo, you got it. Yeah, that's beautiful. So tell me what you're doing.
Philly. I'm here in Puerto Rico making a documentary about el movimiento de autogestión, which doesn't actually have a great translation in English, but self-management movement, which is something for where communities are just figuring out other different ways to organize for solidarity with each other, for survival
in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, due to the some of the austerity measures of the debt crisis and the Promesa Act. And then of course the hurricane. I've been interviewing cooperatives that produce products like sewing cooperatives, eco-agriculture cooperatives, and Taller Salud is in Luisa, and it's a feminist health organization that started back in the day to say that women should, have more control over their reproductive and sexual lives and relationships and against domestic violence. But actually they've done something amazing. Taller Salud in Luisa, they've reduced the murder rate, because there's a lot of vengeance murders there, from 45 a year to 5 a year. And when I heard this, I feel like that's a huge statistic that is unheard of in violence reduction. So that was amazing. Just various people that, let me see, what other ones did I do? The head of the teachers union, I interviewed her. The League of Cooperatives president. Some famous
Are you making a film on this?
Yeah, so now I'm in the development stage. Right now it's an independent project, but I hope to partner with a large platform with the goal of getting as many eyes on it as possible, because the world needs to know about what's going on here, and especially since the people in Puerto Rico don't have a vote in Washington, yet their daily lives are really encumbered by a lot of the colonialist policies.
In Bayamon, of his grandson and granddaughter holding hands. And my two sisters, when they were teenagers, had a fight, and the painting came off the wall, and it was bent in half. They fought, and it got thrown. And so I asked my mother years later, what is the painting? And my mother was very quiet. She never said anything. Oh, it's just some relatives. It was my old year. And I went, when I first came here in 1999, on a sabbatical. I wanted to make the film on Oyer, and I went and I sold it. I went to a art dealer. I didn't want to sell it. They said, we'll give you $75,000 for the broken painting tomorrow morning. I said, I'll be here. I want it in 20s. They gave it to me in 20s. Really? Yeah. But I want to get it back. I want to get the painting back because I miss it.
Well, you should get it back.
I want to film me trying to find it.
But you can find a good piece of him, a good painting from him that they just discovered recently in Spain. It's called the Batalla of Treviño, the Battle of Treviño in Spain. And the painting belongs now to the Museum of Ponce. It's on the south of the island, and one of the biggest pieces that they have been found recently.
How big is it?
60 by 40 inches. Quite big for his size.
Well, the Alvalario. The Valario.
Not as big at that one, but it's a big painting, and it's a Batalla de Treviño and they found in Spain in an auction house, and then the Museo Ponce bought it. And it's a beautiful painting.
How long ago was that?
Maybe 5 years, 6 years.
About the painting. I'm going to Ponce tomorrow.
You should go there and ask for the Batalla de Treviño, the Battle of Treviño. He painted in the. They found it in the old police department in Spain.
Really?
And it's a fight. He depicted the paint, the fight. The Spanish Civil War, and he depicted really well. The paint was marvelous. It's there.
I would love to get in touch with you. I'm going to shut this off. I would love to see the letter. Do you have the letter from the book, or
actually that's sad because the copy? No, I saw the copy was printed in a public magazine that they did here. From 1980s to 2000, I think 1999. That's the last time that they published that kind of magazine. And Aide Venegas gave me the copy of that. And in that copy was the written letter from Pizarro himself, asking him to go back to France.
You should check out my website, because the film that I started shooting all the year is in there. I have a website. I just put up David Allen Parry. P-A, like fencing, P-A-R-R-Y. Just type in David Allen Parry and you'll see my old year film.
That's gonna be great because I mean that.
But then you write me. We need to talk.
Please, yeah, of course. I mean, from me, Francisco is one of the greatest one here in the island because he moved to Paris, worked with them, and they never considered them like a master. They consider like a student. When I completely agree for myself that he was a master. He was a great painter.
Yeah.
So you're Chicago. Next to Camille Pissarro, next to Cézanne, he got mad with Cézanne. I think Cézanne was mad with him. He got a just typical fight. What I heard.
Well, they say Pissarro. When I hear Pissarro and Cézanne wanted him because he was the only one who could draw really well. Yeah. They couldn't draw very well. Is that interesting?
Yeah.
Well, we have to get together again. Hey, what's your phone number? Your text number?
It's 787-963-2995. I can give it to you.
Yeah, you got a card?
Yeah. No, I don't have a card. I can give you the contact. Yeah.
Open your heart without knowing where in the world you were going. You were sent for me, and although at first glance you were a stranger, but you kept me safe from danger. I am humbled now, safe in your arms. No harm will come to you. Remember me, you'll see we can make it through.